Welcome to this Angular Message Component tutorial. With this Syncfusion Angular Message Component, you can display messages with severity levels. Additionally, you can enhance these messages with icons and colors to denote the importance and context of the message. In this video, I will show you how to create an Angular app, add the Angular Message Component, and use a few of its basic features such as changing variants, severity, show and hide icons, and customize the component using templates. Let me start with the application creation process. I'm going to create an Angular application using the Angular CLI tool. Make sure you have installed the latest version of Node.js. I will edit my code using Visual Studio Code and view the output on Google Chrome. To create a project in Angular, I open Visual Studio Code and install the Angular CLI using the command npm install -g at angular/CLI. I use the ng new project name command and name my project my app. I'm going to create a project with the CSS option to add a CSS style sheet. So I choose the CSS option. The project creation has started. Now let me navigate to the project folder. To add the Syncfusion Angular Message Component, I install the Syncfusion Angular Notifications package using the command npm install at syncfusion/ej2 Angular Notifications --save. This will install the package along with its dependencies. The application is now ready to use. The first thing I must do here is register the trial license key to use Syncfusion components. So I open the main TS file and import the register license method from the Syncfusion ej2 base package. Using this method, I register the trial license key. To generate this license key, refer to the link in the description below. Now, the application is configured to use Syncfusion Angular components. Next, I navigate to the app component TS file and import the message module from the Syncfusion Angular Notifications package. Then, I register it within the imports array of the component section. To apply styles to the message component, I navigate to the styles CSS file and add CSS references by importing the material theme. To add the Angular message component, I open the app component HTML file and remove its default content first. Then I add an HTML division element with a class container. In this example, the message component will be displayed when the age entered is not between 18 and 60 in the HTML input element. So first I will add the label enter your age. Then I add one more division element with a class input div. This class will add the necessary CSS styles to align the input element. I add an input tag and define the input event with the event handler input change to detect the changes in the input element. Then I open the app component TS file and define the input change method. Here, I will add code to display the message based on the age condition. So inside the app component HTML file, let me add an Angular message component by adding an EJS message tag and set its visible property to false to hide the message component initially. Next, I need to define the text to be shown in the message component. So within this app component TS file, let me create a variable called content and set its appropriate content. Now I assign this variable to the content property of the message component. Next, I need to display this content based on the input value, so I need to access the instance of the message component. Therefore, let me add the reference variable message element and access this component reference using the viewChild directive in the app component TS file. To use the viewChild directive, I import it from the Angular core package. I define the not null variable message instance of type message component. I also import this component class from its package. Inside the input change method, let me get the value of the input element as an integer, so I use the parseInt method and assign it to the age variable. Now I will check whether the age is less than 18 or greater than 60. If so, I will change the visible property to true. If not, I set the visible property to false. The message will be displayed based on this age condition. I changed a predefined eMessage class width to 300 pixels in the styles CSS file. This class will be added to the message component by default. I also add container and input div classes with a margin left, margin top, and margin bottom CSS styles for better alignment. Next, I run the application using the command ngserve. Checking now, the message is displayed when the age entered is not between 18 and 60. Next, I will show you how to change the variant in the message. By default, the text variant is applied. Apart from this, outlined and filled variants are supported. I change the message variant type by setting the variant property to filled. You can see the filled message variant. The severity is differentiated using text color and a dark background. Next, I change the message variant to outlined. See now, the severity is differentiated using text color and a border without a background. Next, let's see the different severity types: normal, info, success, warning, and error. Normal is the default severity type. To show a warning, I set the severity property to warning. Now the severity has changed from normal to a warning type. Notice that the message content is left aligned by default. To align it to the center, I assign the CSS class property with the content center class. Now the content is center aligned. You can also show and hide icons in the message component. To hide the severity icon, I set the show icon property to false. To show a close icon, I enable the show close icon property. Checking now, the severity icon is hidden and a close icon is shown. Finally, I will show you how to customize the message component using templates. You can customize the message component by adding an icon, image, or buttons, and changing the content, alignment, and appearance. Here, I'm going to include a dismiss button to close the message. To do that, I install the Syncfusion Angular Buttons package using the command npm install /ej2angularbuttons --save. Then I import button module from the package and register it within the imports array section. I add the appropriate styles in the style CSS file to include the dismiss button in the message component. I add an ng template tag with the reference ID content. Within it, I add the message content using a paragraph tag. Then I add a button element using an ej's button tag and set the button content to dismiss. To close the button when it is clicked, I define a click event with the appropriate event handler. Then I define the event handler in the app component.ts file. Within it, I disable message component visibility. As I have added the dismiss button to close the message, I remove the show close icon property. You can see the message component is rendered with template content. When I click the dismiss button, the message disappears. In this video, I have shown you how to create an Angular app and add the Syncfusion Angular Message component to it. You have also seen how to change variants, severity, show, and hide icons, and customize the component using templates. If you want to see the working example of this project, you can download it from the GitHub link in the description below. I have also provided a link where you can see if you qualify for a free license key to use our Angular products through our community license. If you found this video useful, please like and subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.